All right, so I actually want to give off my the top three best of the X-Men movies in this video, of course. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all know after like rewatching these movies and everything, I gotta put Logan at number one, and then I gotta put the Deadpool and Wolverine at number two, and then of course I got to put the X-Men First Class at number three. Now, in that exact order. Now, of course, the reason why I got these as my top three, you already know. I'm gonna go ahead and point out X-Men First Class. X-Men First Class really set up the franchise, of course, for us to be able to get X-Men Apocalypse, to get X-Men Days of Present, Past, and Future. It's set up perfectly for my favorite movie, of course, Dark Phoenix, out of the franchise. So if it wasn't for X-Men First Class, we wouldn't have got those other great films as well too. So I feel like they did such an amazing job with X-Men First Class, going into a different direction as far as us getting the origin story of how they was able to get their powers and everything else, and how they were able to meet up and everything when they were younger. And they really had such an amazing cast with it. You know what I'm saying? You had James McAvoy, you had Jennifer Lawrence, of course. Then you had my boy, I believe his name Michael Fassbender, if I pronounced it correctly. Yep, but yeah, they did such a great job with it, and I'm glad they were able to be a part of the film. So yeah, they really did an amazing job, and I really feel like that's really part of the top three of the X-Men movies that I have seen. Of course, the reason why I got number two with Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, Deadpool and Wolverine, it's kind of easy for me to go ahead and point this out. We know that the Deadpool movies always does very good in the box office, and people love Deadpool because he's such a fan favorite, of course, out of the comic books. So the way they went about with Deadpool and Wolverine, I feel like they did such a great job of when Deadpool happened to go and find the Wolverine that he need to being able to save his universe and everything from being destroyed or whatnot, and even though we know they weren't going to they weren't going to meet eye to eye, you know what I'm saying, so they were going to have their issues. So they had such amazing fighting scenes in it. They had such amazing fighting scenes in it, so it really made it so top tier. And then, of course, we was able to see some of the old iconic characters as well too. We had Elektra, we had Blade, we had Laura, X-23, of course. Just everybody that was in there. You know what I'm saying? Sabretooth, of course. We was able to see the rematch with Wolverine and Sabretooth, of course. So yes, it was just everything about that movie was just so amazing, so nostalgia, and I'm just glad we were able to actually witness seeing that film, thanks to Spider-Man No Way Home, because it really kind of like had that similarities to Spider-Man No Way Home. So I'm so glad they went in this direction to make Deadpool and Wolverine. And yeah, I feel like Ryan Reynolds did an amazing job with it, because it's definitely a Ryan Reynolds film, of course, with him making the Deadpool movies and everything. But that's definitely the number two, of course, the reason why I have that as one of the best X-Men movies. So yes, Deadpool and Wolverine is definitely at my number two. Now, as far as like the number one, the reason why I got Logan at number one, because I feel like Logan, they did such a great job with his stories. Like I like how they went about with X-Men Wolverine Origins, and they went about with Wolverine. So of course we were able to go into the future of Wolverine, and then of course we was able to see how Logan pretty much actually just kind of like gave up on life, gave up on the mutants and everything. He felt that it was all make believe or whatnot, until he ended up running into his daughter, which was X-23, which was Laura, of course, and she kind of like had that same powers as he did and everything. And yeah, it was just so cool, man. It was so cool, and she wasn't really the only one that actually had the mutant powers, so we were able to see other young kids that were up and coming that actually had those same kind of powers and everything, even though they were trying to take it away from him and whatnot, and yeah, I think they really pieced this together, even though we knew that, as far as like him and his daughter, they wasn't going to meet eye to eye and everything, because she had that same similarity as Logan, of course, because their personalities was just so identical. So it just made it the perfect match, for them to be for that to be his daughter and everything. So I just love how they did it, with of course with Logan, being on this road trip and everything, of him trying to take care of Charles Xavier, of course, and yeah, they were pretty much just trying to live their life, and they just didn't really believe in mutants and stuff like that, of course, until X-23 came into the play and everything. And I really feel like X-23 was the highlight of that movie, of course, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I was just that's why I was so glad to see her in Deadpool and Wolverine, because the way they just went about it was just so perfect. It was just top tier, you know. And yeah, I really gotta thank Marvel for this, you know. And I just really feel like the MCU did such a great job with these movies and everything. So yeah, this is the reason why I have this as the top three of the best X-Men movies. But that is just my thoughts and opinions on it. But I'm here to hear you guys' concerns. So let me know what you actually think about the top three of these being the three best X-Men films. Do you like this list? Do you not like this list? What would be your top three of the best three best X-Men movies? Let me know in the comment section down below.